I did.
Debbie, can you hear me all right?
I can.
Can you guys hear me okay? It's Lindsay.
Yep.
Okay, thanks.
Hi, Mark.
Hi, Debbie.
Hey, folks.
Hi, Mark.
Hi.
So the only person I've heard from is Christine. She is, she's at the airport. She's going to have her phone on when official business is, so when voting or anything like that. But I told her, I said, we should have a quorum if she does choose not to join in.
Okay.
And I'll warn you now, Debbie, I am currently dealing with a somewhat sick toddler and a COVID positive wife. So I am here listening, but I may be in and out on video.
Okay. So just, Christina, do you agree as we're voting, at least cameras need to be on?
Yeah, I would agree for anything we're voting on. Just have your camera on for that, and then you can go off camera.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks.
What do we have on the agenda that would involve voting this evening besides just minutes?
It's just the minutes.
Okay. Okay. I didn't recall any other
Yeah.
business that sounded like we were requiring a vote.
And I'm assuming everybody else will be joining in, Kate and Monica.
We got a couple minutes to go. Yep.
Yeah.
I guess we're at the half hour, so we can get going. And presumably, if there's Jim, we'll start with roll call.
Okay, and we, right
There's
now,
Gary.
yeah, right now we do not have a quorum.
Okay, well, we better wait a minute, I guess.
How's everybody doing? Happy New Year to you all.
Yeah.
You, Gary.
Hey, Gary.
Gary.
Yeah, I'm watching my email and nobody has emailed that they will not be attending. If nothing else, do we just do an update, Christina, on Bates Logan and that, just no formal business?
Correct. Yeah, you won't be able to vote on the minutes, but we can still give all the updates that we have listed in the agenda.
Well, let's give till 5 minutes after the official start, and then if we don't have everybody on by then we'll just do the updates and call it an evening.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Hey, Christina, random question.
Yeah.
We were at Jason Park a few days ago. Is there a timeline on when those fences look like they're going to come down because it kind of removes the whole dog park situation at all when there's signs up for one half and the fences around the other. And there was
Yeah.
somebody that came by that took pictures that didn't look super happy about the signs being up. I didn't know if there was, I assume it's drought driven, but I just wanted to check so I could relay it out if I'm over there again.
Yeah, Dave's actually going to give an update, but it is temporary. We are just closing it for the winter months and going to do some turf restoration come the spring to get the grass back. It's in a world of hurt out there just with the heavy use and the drought conditions we've had. So it's bad
Gotcha.
timing with the off leash program. But again, we have Duncan and Canine Corral, which are like a mile away from Jason and are just a little over a mile away, and then Northwest Greenbelt. So there's other options for people to use too. I know it's not convenient, not what everybody's been able to use, but or like to, everybody likes Jason, but there's other parks they can definitely go to.
So Monica, welcome. Do we have a quorum now, Debbie?
We do not. We are short one person.
Did the meeting start at 5:30? Did I
Yeah.
get that wrong?
No.
Oh, you're
5:30.
good.
Okay.
Okay, so now we have a quorum. We'll just ask Stephen when we are at, and Christine just joined. Okay.
We're good now.
Yep.
All right, I guess we better do roll call while we still have everybody before people start to leave.
Okay, so it's 5:33. Chair Mark Husbands,
Present.
Vice Chair Christine Adams.
Yeah.
Monica Johnson,
Here.
Kate Truesdale,
Here.
Stephen Young,
Here.
and we have now Council Member Jim Woodward. And then staff, we have Director Christina Underhill, Open Space Manager Dave Lee, Open Space Activity Supervisor Lindsay Peterson. We have Inglewood Schools Liaison Gary Manfrey.
Present.
And did I get everybody? Okay, we are set.
Okay, then I guess the first order is minutes. Do we have any comments or corrections on the minutes from, is it November? What month is it? It must have been from November, right?
Yeah, November 9th.
Seems like it's been ages. Any comments or corrections?
No, so moved.
We have a second. I
I'll
think I
second.
heard a second. Okay. All those in favor of accepting the minutes as presented, please say aye.
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 All
Aye.
opposed? Minutes are moved. Okay. What's our first item? Let's see. Jason Park. Dave, you got something for us?
Yes, just a brief update. The Front Range area is in what is termed an exceptional drought or an extreme drought. Has been for quite some time. We've experienced probably the warmest fall on record, which brings out plenty of people as well. And the turf has been worn down. The park obviously is very well loved. So we made the decision probably late November to talk about closing it if we didn't get any weather precipitation. And that kind of continued into December. And so we put out notification 2 weeks prior to that to let people know that we were going to close that northern half of the park again, much like we had 2 other times. So the fencing went up on December 23rd. And so it's been closed since then. Unlike in the past where off-leash people and park users could use the southern half, due to council making that an ordinance on the off-leash areas, it covers the entire park. So because of that, code enforcement is required to manage off leash in the southern half, which again has not made people very happy. Currently, they're giving warnings to people out there to notify them, but at some point they will start fining people. So with that, well, I can go a little bit further. We expect to start in earnest, hopefully in March, weather pending, to try to overseed again, irrigate and so forth. We did turn the irrigation on for a couple of weeks during the warmer part of December to try to get some moisture down. I think it was helpful, but not entirely successful. So with that, I'll take questions.
I see Jim has one.
Well, I just want to point out that this was introduced to council back in October as a resolution. And if any of you watched that meeting, you saw it get changed to an ordinance. And the difference is that a resolution gives you a whole lot more freedom, meaning staff and the city to change rules, to, you know, to close things down, that sort of thing. But when you put it into an ordinance, it becomes a law. And as I tried to explain to Steve Ward, since he was the one that brought it up, in doing that, you've just caused to make any changes, basically about an 8-week process. That is, first you got to have a study session. Then you have to go to first reading. It's got to be on the agenda for a meeting. Have a first reading. It's got to pass there. 2 weeks later, comes back for a second reading. You've got to pass it there without any changes. Then you have to wait a month. And then it goes into effect. So what this ordinance says is that the park, the north side of the park is off leash privileges. The south end of the park has changed, does not have off leash privileges. Well, so when the fencing went up and it was asked of the city manager if he could change, you know, let the south side be off leash for this time period, he said, sure, we can. You can start your council meetings, have a study session, go back through the whole process. And that's why you don't do those types of things, rules and stuff like that, into ordinances. And nobody's brought it up to make any changes, but it really ties the hands of staff in the Parks and Recreation Department. And so it is what it is. But I also wanted to add the notice, there is a notice up on Jason Park on the fence or by the signs that states that went up at what, a week or two before the fencing went up, when the fence would go up and for how long. I think it said up to possibly through May 31, but it didn't say till May 31. I think it left it kind of open that if it, you know, if it had all been better by April 15th or May 1, it would be fine. And David probably say, take down the fences. I don't know. But anyway, it's turned into a, you know, I know city council's getting emails. And I saw on social media yesterday, they're looking for, somebody's looking for an attorney. And so it's, and they actually called out rights, their rights. And it's just, it's like, okay, well, I can't even respond now to the people if they're saying bring in an attorney. So anyway, that's a little history and a little from my point of view, a little of what went on.
Thanks for
Nobody-
sharing that, Jim.
If
Any-
nobody has any other questions, Mark, I'll segue into the athletic field use as well. And as part of the drought preparations, we closed those fields probably mid-November because they were receiving a lot of wear and people were actually out using them. I mean, the weather was great for all kinds of athletic and for anybody to be out in the parks. But again, in order to say, you know, our field use runs from March 1 to November, March 1 to November 1st. So we actually do close annually the fields to play during the winter time. So we ended up putting signs out in Jason at the athletic field, at Duncan, and Bates Logan as well, stating that they were closed. So as part of this, I wanted to segue into that too. So this again is because of the extreme drought and the warm weather. And along with this, I wanted to give Lindsay an opportunity to kind of update the commission on the field use for the year and some of the organizations and sports that we hosted, along with numbers and revenue and so forth. So Lindsay, if you're on and ready, go ahead.
I'm here and ready. And if there's any questions at any point, feel free to interrupt and ask or save until the end, whatever works best for you guys. So fields are grossly popular and the need continues to grow. In 2015, we had 13 different user groups that generated $26,000 in revenue. In 2021, we had 76 individual user groups that generated over $66,000. I know big picture with the city budget, that's not a ton, but when it comes to, you know, going from 13 groups to 76 groups, that's a big jump. And it's going to continue to, I mean, we're hitting our max as far as the fields being utilized and being played on. But the need continues to grow and I have to continue to turn people away, which is a good thing. But at the same time, we want kids playing, we want adults playing, we want our parks to be well loved. We offer, based on the different fields that we have at the different parks, we have baseball and t-ball from ages 4 to 80. We do have like over 60 men's baseball teams that play on Brent, Maine. Softball, youth and adult, so 4-year-olds to 80-year-olds. We have our senior softball team out there. Rugby, and that's been, that was new this year, but it was youth through adult as well. Tackle and flag football, again, youth and adults. Soccer, ages 4 to 60, youth and adult, and outdoor volleyball. We've had Von Miller, Emmanuel Sanders, Peyton Manning at our fields. They are well loved and very popular due to the great condition that they're in and their location within the metro area as well. It's very centralized and very convenient for a lot of people, especially the highly competitive groups that have kids from all over the place. But even more importantly for our local community, for our Englewood kids. They can walk to the park, they can play, and that's really what we want is everyone playing and enjoying the fields.
Thanks, Lindsay. Any questions for Dave or Lindsay regarding field use or closures or drought conditions or other things we might be looking at down the road if we don't start getting a little more snow? Are there
Yes.
any other places of concern? Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
Yeah, please.
We do have a field use manual that's ready to go, and that has basically all the information. It has our field request form, and we do have a field rest schedule. So it's scheduled times where the field is not available so that we can take those 2 weeks off to seed and aerate and give it the rest that it needs. so that the rest of the year it can continue to grow and thrive instead of having these long closures. Because then you do get that trickle down effect, like with Jason Park, the field at Jason being closed,
Other
and
places get used, yeah.
that being our only full-size field, where can these 14 to 18-year-olds go play now? And just kind of adjusting and shifting, and it all works out, but it's just that how one field and closing one field affects so many user groups and parks, and kind of the maintenance and wear and tear too.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anything else on this topic before we move on? You'll have to enlighten me as to the next agenda item, Debbie. So I guess it's Bates Logan. Aha.
Thank you, Debbie. I believe everybody got either in their packet or were sent these 3 designs. We've enlisted the help of MW Design to come up with an overall plan or design for Bates Logan. I think after the next 3 major parks, which are Baker, Cushing, and Centennial, are complete, we'll be looking at renovating Bates Logan Park. As part of that, we asked for a few designs, which I believe all of you have seen or had gotten. So these are the 3 designs. This is design 1, and they basically all have similar amenities. Obviously, we're looking at sidewalks or trail connections, which are the red dots around the park. The detention pond, which is number 1, and the athletic field, which is number 4, are remaining relatively the same. What does get added in here is an upgraded playground, a new picnic shelter, a new restroom, a smaller mini athletic field, which Lindsay currently uses, and some sport courts for pickleball and basketball, and then either a challenge course like a BMX track, which I believe is number 5 in this first one, and then a small pump track, which we think would be wildly popular for skating and bicycles, as well as some of those Razor scooters. So this was the first design. Debbie, if you'd like to move on to the next. The next one, like I said, very similar, just changing around of some of the amenities within the park. Also, if you look at the playgrounds, this planner was trying to utilize the hillside, and so that may become some slides or some other amenity worked into the playgrounds so that people could use the hillside as well. So we're thinking maybe a slide in there. The third one, Debbie, please. Third one, I think, is a little bit more simple, but still most of the same amenities. And so 2 things will happen with this. We will have a public open house either later in January or early February to find out what the park patrons and the local residents want. Also, we'll be utilizing this design to go for an Arapahoe County open space grant. The grant this year is for, I believe, $350,000. And so we'll be looking at that, and most likely going for a shelter and the restroom, at least preliminarily. I think those are attainable without really confusing things until we get this park under construction in totality. I think with that, I will open it up to take questions.
I have a question. So with these designs, we just redid the basketball court there. But so would
Correct.
that be moved to somewhere else? Because like it looks like the playground would be like where the basketball courts is now.
Well, that's what is called for in these designs. And again,
Okay.
these are very preliminary designs.
Yeah.
So they may stay in the same place, they may not. And yes, you're right, we redid that court, but what we find with asphalt courts is they
Mhm.
last about 2 years.
Okay.
There's already cracking in that surface, and I would envision within this next year that some of that surface layer will actually flake off as
Okay.
it's done in the past. And that's the whole reason for going from an asphalt court to concrete. You get a
Mhm.
better product, longer lasting. And, we're calling for putting pickleball
Yeah.
along with a basketball court out there.
Okay. I like the pickleball idea. And I like the idea of doing like the pump track or something. I'm just wondering if it's like enough space. Like honestly, I walk through this park pretty much every single day and I don't know if it feels like maybe small. I think I'd have to like see it like a tour, like we did at the other ones, maybe.
Well, we can certainly do that this summer.
Yeah, definitely. Cool. I'm excited. I love this park.
Sorry, I'm in my mask. I'm in the airport, so I'm just chiming in. But I would also love to see some nature play, like legitimate nature play, maybe some sensory elements or adaptive recreation elements. If we're considering a revised playground, certainly that can be proposed to the community. But I think that nature play is very important and something that we're truly missing in the truest sense in Inglewood. So I would very much advocate for a nature play area in this park as well.
Christine, we had actually discussed that with the designer, the architect. And so that's something under consideration that's not actually displayed in these preliminary designs. As a part of a clarification, when you say nature play, are you actually looking at, say, tree logs and things like that? Or are you thinking of some of the artificial concrete things that can be logs and stumps and other types of simulated nature?
I mean, I think it can be either. I think that it's important for kids to be able to understand that they can experience nature in an urban environment. And so if we have the trees that we're going to take down anyway, that we can repurpose in that area for nature play, great. If we don't, let's simulate them. But I just think that we're really lacking that. And so I'd be interested in exploring that idea.
Thank you for that input. We'll certainly add that to our wish list.
Thank you.
Other questions?
Okay, this
Yeah,
is a
David,
silly.
sorry, go ahead. Tim. Okay.
I was just gonna say this is a silly one because I was thinking about like how people use this park because I like genuinely I walk by this one every single day, and where like the bathrooms are right now, there's a brick wall, and I always see people playing lacrosse on it, like always bouncing the ball off of it. So like I don't know if we did something with like the pickleball courts, or we could keep like that wall element because people practice lacrosse there all the time, and I know we have like the lacrosse girls teams that practice there too. But I just think that wall, I use it even for the same way. It's just fun to play on and kicking soccer balls. So maybe keep a wall some way is the only other thing I would add in there.
Okay, thank you for that.
Yeah, of course.
I think that's achievable.
Yeah.
We're looking at leaving the restroom where it is now because it reduces the cost
Mhm.
of having to add new underground infrastructure.
Or even like, I mean, if we do that, then like that, I could show you which one it is, but I've been to other places where they have like boards they can put up that even kind of protects the brick so that it's not as like annoying if someone's in the restroom and someone's just like wailing on the wall. Just a thought.
We'll look into that. I'm sure
Cool.
we can come up with some kind of a design.
Love it. Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.
Dave, I was just going to ask I know it's preliminary, but the current time frame for the next three parks is what, a few years, and this would be next, or is there anything laid out that concrete?
I'll take a stab at that. The current timeline for our 3 parks, I believe they're still slated to be complete by early summer. Christine, you can correct me if that's not the case. And then we're looking at asking Inglewood citizens to allow us to keep the bond that is going to expire in 2023. And if that is the case and they vote yes on that, we will have additional funds in order to start building some of these other parks out and not have to rely solely on grant applications. Is that helpful, Stephen?
Yeah, sorry, I was chasing my child and keeping him from running down the stairs. Yes, it's helpful. It just gives me an idea. I just didn't know how soon you guys were actually thinking, but it's sooner than I expected. So thanks.
Well, that's good.
Any other questions for Dave about this topic? Thanks, Logan.
I have my hand up. It's Monica.
Oh, I'm sorry, I missed it. Yep.
No, that's okay. So I think I understand it. The red is all going to be sidewalk.
Correct.
Okay, I was thinking, I like the idea of having extra entrances, love the pickleball courts, love the pump track. And I was thinking even a single track around the outside would be cool. But having that access from Logan Street sounds really great. So that's fantastic. And I too go through that park every day. So super exciting.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Any final questions for Dave about Bates Logan?
All right, I have one more thing. I'm sorry.
Okay.
So I'm looking at like this number, like the little like water pond that we have, like kind of on the northeast corner on the first one. And I don't know, that land next to that one house is for sale. Like, I don't know if we would ever think about maybe using that as like a detention pond. I don't know if we could buy it. We probably couldn't, but just a thought, just throwing it out there that little, it's like a weird triangle of land. And I don't think anyone's ever going to buy it because you can't really buy a house there. So I'm just throwing that out there too.
What water feature are you referring to?
I think that's the pump track.
No, it's on the design one, it's number 6.
Yeah, that's the pump.
Oh, that's the
track.
pump track.
Yeah,
Mhm.
sorry, it looks blue. He just put that in there, I think, just to kind of highlight, but it's not a
see.
water feature.
I got you. Well, that
Yeah.
land is for sale too, just so
On
you
the
know.
other side of the fence.
Yeah. And it's really small and I really don't think anyone could like build a house or do anything there, but just throwing it out there.
Yeah, Kay, did you see what they're asking for it?
No, I
They're asking
haven't.
$700,000.
Are you serious? Are you
Yeah.
serious? No,
Ridiculous.
it's on a river.
Yeah, there's no way you can build it, but yeah, that's why it hasn't sold. But yeah, it's available if you want. If the city wants to try to lowball it, but even
Oh.
lowballing is going to be hard, I think, with that.
I'm just thinking like, cause where that little river is, like if you could do like a detention pond or something for water there too, that could also be awesome, but that's insane. I can't believe that.
Is that city ditch, Dave?
Yes, it is.
So it's exposed city ditch just going through there. Okay.
And that is part of the Bray property. And so the fence runs on our side of the parcel. So you have no more access to city ditch like you used to many years ago.
Yeah. I think was something that may be confusing is what the detention pond is actually the big soccer field. That's for flooding.
Yeah, the whole
And
thing.
I don't think in this plan, nothing's changed to the soccer field, has it?
No,
Dave?
nothing has changed regarding the soccer field or the detention pond, because we really can't do anything within that because of the flood capacity. They need that capacity for, excess rain.
Yeah. If you see a big rain or something, you can go down there and see it. You'll see water in there.
You can
So-
take your kayak down then.
Okay, anything else on this topic? Look forward to seeing how this unfolds. And we've got Jason Park amenities. Some more for you, Dave.
Yeah, it's me again. Just a brief update on this. We got a grant last August, and then it was approved by City Council, I believe, in September. We put it out to bid, got bids back. American Civil Constructors will be building the amenities out here at Jason Park, and they've already started ordering certain of the of the amenities that are out there. I know picnic shelters take 8 to 12 weeks, as well as the restrooms. So they're in that process of choosing colors and making sure everything is okay. And then I'm going to be meeting them tomorrow out at the park to start talking about when demolition and when they'll fence that off for construction. And to refresh everybody's memory on that, the grant was for a picnic shelter, which will replace the current one out there in the same place, a full-size basketball court, concrete, and a new restroom, ADA compliant. Those were the three amenities that were slated to go in there to improve that park.
Thank you for those, Dave. I know that a few of those, especially the restrooms and the full court basketball courts, were something that the community really wanted. So thank you so much for hearing them and putting that into that plan.
Christine, I couldn't hear you. There was a lot of feedback. Sorry about that.
I caught more or less she was appreciating the additions to that people have been asking for. That's kind of
Yes,
that's just what I caught, Dave.
Thank
I'm
you,
on
Christine.
a plane, so thank you.
Tell them to quiet down. Any other questions regarding Jason and the improvements?
Dave, this is a different improvement, but the fence on the south side or of the north side of the field to separate the play area from the off-leash
Yes.
area. Any ideas when that will be going up?
We
Yeah.
haven't done anything with that yet, simply because of the large fence closing off the northern half. But that's certainly something that we'll look into. I'm not sure how it coincides with the 6-foot chain link fence that's out there. So that's part of the reason that we've held off on it. We do have a company that will put in the chain link fence at Duncan. And I believe they're available to put it in or start construction in the next 2 to 3 weeks.
Yeah, I've noticed at Duncan, there's posts up for just, I think it's showing where the area is, where it's going to go. I think posts and string or something.
We did that because January 1, everything was supposed to take effect. And even though that's a temporary fence and it's actually not located in the right area, the fence should go a little bit further south than that. But we wanted to get people used to the idea of where the north half was for off leash, where the southern half was, and so that they could, at least start following the rules that are in place out there.
Anything else before we move on to the next topic? Okay, Christina, I think you're up for project updates.
Yeah, so I'll be somewhat quick on this and happy to answer questions. So Baker, Cushing, and Centennial, we are in design. We're getting closer to construction documents. We're tweaking some minor elements that the designers have proposed, and waiting for budget numbers to come in as well, so we can make sure we're within budget for all the elements we're upgrading at the 3 parks. And then the other big piece, like Dave mentioned, there is some delays in ordering of various pieces of equipment, whether it be restrooms, picnic shelters, playgrounds, those sort of things. So the timeline we propose to be done by June of this year, it may be delayed slightly just due to some delays with ordering some of the items. We did a skate park open house back in early December and had an amazing turnout to the open house. Over 75 individuals came out to give their input and ideas on what they wanted to see the skate park become. And we've been utilizing the Inglewood Engage site to obtain feedback. And that actually just closed. The feedback portion closed on the 7th. Now American Ramp Company is taking all of that feedback and coming up with a couple different designs for the skate park that we will post again on Inglewood Engaged and leave it open for about a week for everybody to vote on which one they like best or make comment on which one they like best. And then that would be implemented. So American Ramp Company is great because not only do they do the design, but their own skaters and designers and everybody come out and build the park themselves. So one of the number one feedback items we got was people want this skate park lit. They want to be able to skate late into the evening, especially like this last year, November, December, the weather was actually nice. We didn't have snow and it was dark early on. And so it's something that we're looking at. How do we incorporate that into the skate park? We want to make this a nice park that everybody can use and from beginner to advanced level of skaters. It was great talking to a lot of the individuals that came out to the open house. They've been using Cushing Skate Park probably since it was installed, so for 20 plus years. And there's a lot of passion and excitement towards this new skate park and what it could be. So I think I'm most excited about the skate park going in and in that design. So we'll keep you all updated. Probably in the next meeting, we'll have some close to final concepts for all 3 parks that we can share. And just a quick overview. So Centennial is going to get a new basketball court, picnic shelter, restroom, and playgrounds. And then Baker is getting kind of a whole park renovation, new walking path, restroom, shelter, playgrounds, irrigation system hopefully will be added in there as well. And Cushing's going to have a new shelter, skate park, fitness court. And we know that needs a new playground as well. It's not part of this project, but hopefully a future project will add that in and it'll all come together. And also a restroom is going to be added in at Cushing. So a lot of good things happening in the parks and happy to answer any questions.
Christine, if I can add a couple of things. The turnout was pretty great for the skate park end of things. Just wanted to make note, the oldest skater there was 60, which kind of floored us. And then also one of the comments that they made was they wanted to see a little bit larger skate park than we proposed. So Christina and I are looking into possibly enlarging it a little bit. There was some grass strips around the perimeter, and we thought maybe, if nothing else, we could add a little bit more concrete, keep the same amenities that they designed, but just enlarge the skate area of the room. So it was about 1,500 square feet less what was proposed than the current skate park.
Yeah, Christina, I only had, sorry.
But
I was just going to ask, did you guys get hit with anything? I know you got the delays, maybe a little bit supply chain based, but did you get hit with any price increases for buying and stuff? I think that had come up a little bit recently, but I wasn't sure how bad it ended up being.
That's what we're waiting to get. We hope by next Friday we meet with the company again. We did ask for a budget update to know where we stand, because that's what's making the most nervous. Is we know that costs are going up everywhere and continue to do so this year. And so we're not sure yet. I have a bad feeling prices have gone up, but they do have a budget they need to stay within. So we'll keep you updated on that too at the next meeting.
Okay, thanks.
And Christina, you
also-
want to?
Oh, sorry. I'd be happy to look into the Tony Hawk Foundation. They have been very instrumental in funding these skate parks around urban areas, especially in underserved urban areas, which I think that we would qualify for. So I will look into that grant opportunity, and if it's appropriate, I will send it. I will work on it, but send it to city staff as well.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you.
Yep.
Okay, I think that leads us, unless there's another question about the skate park or other park updates, then that leads us to staff's choice, I think. Christina, since you've been on, do you got anything else?
Yeah,
You'd like
so
to-
I'll cover a few things for Allison. She was going to try to join us, but couldn't make it tonight. So Maui is offering a free social pass to anyone 55 plus. The goal of the social pass being free this year is to get people out and being social again. Go to the center, meet new friends. It's been tough with COVID. I know we're having a major spike right now, but it's a free pass. So anyone 55 and plus qualifies for that. It's 12 months free access to the Maui Center and ERC. We have a new recreation supervisor starting on Tuesday next week. His name is Avery Akers. He's coming from California. He's currently a recreation coordinator there. His background is in elementary education. That's what his degree is in. He's been running some pretty amazing programs over in California. For Inglewood, he's going to focus on summer camps, youth enrichment, tumbling, martial arts, various youth programs. So we're extremely excited to get him over to the ERC to be one of our recreation supervisors over there. So a lot of good stuff happening at the new year. New budgets are always nice. We're going to have some new staff coming on board. A new childcare director is going to start. This is a part-time position. They'll help Avery out with the summer camps and after school programs come the fall. So good stuff's happening in the recreation division. Lindsay, do you have anything you want to add? I'll take that as a no. Dave?
Christina, I have a question on that.
Sure.
Your new staff person and working with youth, does he have experience and will he work with that group, that 13 on kind of that, the kids
Teenagers?
that, pardon me?
The tweens, the teens?
Yeah, the middle
Yeah,
schoolers.
that'll be part of his target market is probably ages 0 to 18 and some of the programs he'll be offering.
That's great to hear.
Yeah. He may be helping with birthday parties too for the aquatic side of things. So that's a good target market as well. We get all ages over there.
Any other questions for Christina then? Lindsay, I was going to ask if you wanted, I don't know if she's gone or, but if you have any other items for us? There you are.
Still here. Sorry. I do not, unless there's any specific questions about field rentals or field use or any of that exciting information.
Lindsay's busy planning the extravaganza. I think we're changing the name of it, but we'll talk more about it at future meetings, but that'll be our first event of the year in April, correct?
Correct. It'll be April 9th, and it's a combination of, in the past, we did the Great Egg Scramble. And so we're hoping, COVID permitting, we can do it like we did in years past with different age groups, and they go out and get their eggs, but then we'll have vendors and sponsors and games and crafts so everyone can stay afterwards and enjoy the park and enjoy their neighbors and celebrate Arbor Day because it's so close, and just kind of make it more of a stay and hang out event instead of a 30-second event.
Lindsay, we're not going to let you off the hook without talking about the Holiday Express.
Good.
I can talk about the Holiday Express as well. It was a huge success. Couple hiccups here and there, but we pulled together and everyone did an amazing job, and just so thankful for all the volunteers and the staff and all those who attended, and a lot of great memories. And we did do a survey, and a lot of people responded and a lot of people were very happy. So I want us to continue to do it. And so thank you for all the support as well to make it happen.
Great. Any other questions for Lindsay? Dave, do you have any final items for us?
I do have one final item. We are in the process of finalizing a personnel requisition and a job description. It's our intent to hire an assistant city forester. They'll be tasked with managing our EAB program. We're going to look at a community forestry subsidy program, much like the city and the Parks Department had many years ago until budget cuts. And what it'll focus on is either treatment of ash trees or removal of ash trees. And that'll probably happen over the next few years until we get a better hold on EAB, and then probably go to planting new trees after that. That's all I have.
Thanks, Dave. Any questions for Dave before we move on to Commissioner's Choice? All right, should we start with you, Jim?
We can. Well, I was able to talk Steve into letting me be the council liaison for Parks and Recreation, which I was really pleased that he was agreeable to that. And I also was able to stay on Malley Trust Fund. So in addition to others, but two of the boards that I've been on for a long time and really enjoy, I'm still on. So I'm really happy to be here. And anything that the board or commission has to bring to city council, please let me know and I will bring it forward and support it, whatever it is. So I'm here for the commission now. So thank you.
Great. Thank you, Jim. I'm really pleased that you're still going to be involved with our board here and that we get to see you once a month. Okay, well then let's go to Monica.
Happy New Year, everyone. A couple of things. First, a friend just sent me a grant opportunity that might be possible if we do a pump track from the outright fund. So I'll forward that information to you. Secondly, the Code Enforcement Committee has great interest in the Arbor Day program, and they would like to support you as the kind of conduit to that program. And they'd like, we've been talking about ways that we can find funds to expand the amount of trees that are for sale to the community. And we work on the Communications for Emerald Ash Borer program also. So any way that we can connect our two committees would be appreciated. And oh, there was one more thing. I can't remember what my third thing was, but all of the developments are just so exciting. And I just love being part of this committee. That's all I have.
Thanks, Monica. Kate, do you have anything for us this evening?
No, I don't have anything, but I am excited about all of these improvements. I agree with Monica. I think it's pretty cool how, I don't know, I've been on this for like 4 years and it's fun to see how we're growing and changing and making improvements and really doing it. And I know community members love it. So keep up the good work, everyone.
Thanks, Kate. Stephen.
Just something small. I've been going to Northwest Greenbelt with my dog and my 1-year-old here in the past 6 months or a year. I just want to let everybody know that particularly in the past couple of weeks with Jason Park being closed, there's been a large uptick in dogs showing up there. So I think the saving grace of that a little bit is that, and I apologize if you can hear Sesame Street in the background. It's only been keeping my child calm. But it is helping, I think, to actually make that park more known in this case. Cause I mean, when I went there before, I was the only one there with my dog. And now all of a sudden there's 5-10 people there whenever I go. So it's kind of a saving grace of having Jason, is that one's getting more exposed. So beyond that, just happy to see everybody again. And COVID is not fun, according to my wife. So please avoid it if you can.
Thanks, Steven. All right, Gary. I'm assuming you're out there. You are.
Yes, I am. Yeah, it's great to see everyone. Nothing from me, Mark, but it's great to hear the news and all the updates of future renovations for our parks. I hope all y'all are doing well, and yeah, again, great to see everyone.
Thanks, Gary. And I don't have anything. Happy New Year, everybody. I'm glad to be back on track with our meetings, and we'll look forward to February, I guess. And with that, unless there's anything else, meeting is adjourned.
Thanks,
All right,
guys.
good
Have a good night.
Bye, everyone. Have a good night. See you
Have a great
soon.
evening.
Thank you. Good night.
Night.